Let's see. Rollout carts, are they working well? We'll put this to Walter Steed first.
Well, Lee, that's a softball question. Yes, they're working well, at least in my opinion, although amazingly and interestingly enough, I do not have one. I sold my home back in April and then moved into one of the Good Sam complexes, so we don't get carts there. I brought Gary Reedner a picture of a roll cart from Lewiston about 15 years ago, and my question was, why don't we have these in Moscow? As I said earlier, it takes a long time to get anything done in government. I'm not sure why, but it just really does. But I think the more people use them, the more they will like them. There's no more lugging of carts that don't roll. They roll very well. They're picked up mechanically. We'll have a lot less workman's comp claims and injured employees at LSI whose cost is passed through to the city of Moscow. I'm hopeful that we will be able to reduce the rates that we set initially on the cart operation.
That's Walter Steed, and now Rebecca Rod.
Yeah, I think the roll cart seems like it's working really well. I've been attending some council meetings lately. The only thing that's been brought up is that the issue of bikes and the areas that the roll carts are in, and the fact that in the winter when the snow starts getting piled up on the sides of the roads and stuff, and what's going to, kind of happen, between the roll carts and the bikes and the snow and that sort of thing. But I think it's just something we're going to have to work out as we come to it. But I'm really happy with ours. Actually, we only use it like twice a month, but, we have a very low garbage rate, but they seem to be really great and they're really sturdy. So I think it was a great idea to switch over.
So let me follow up on that. What about the a la carte option? Most cities don't have that, where you can pay a reduced monthly fee if you don't have your cart picked up every day of the week, or every week of the month, rather.
I wasn't on the city discussions about that being available, and so I don't know that much about it. But I know that between Teresa and I, we go, just produce very little garbage with our recycling and composting and all that. So there have been times when we thought, maybe we could, pay a little less, and I think it's more incentive.
All right. And for Walter Steed, what about the a la carte option for the roll carts being rolled out?
The request for something like that came to the Public Works Finance Committee, which I chair as president of the council. It was brought by people who were using the tags, and because they said they just didn't have that much garbage, we heard them. And we modified this, and as you said, Lee, our information is that we're the only city, anywhere in the country that we've been able to find that has such a thing. I think it's a great opportunity. We have probably more people taking advantage of it than we anticipated. The good thing about this is that we had a lot of people that were, not paying their full share for garbage. They were either putting bags out that weren't tagged. They were putting out 2 and 3 cans when they were paying for one. We've made the system pay now for what you used, and we're able to hold down the rates for everybody by collecting that $120,000 a year additional that we were missing before.
And that was Walter Steed. We have Walter Steed and Rebecca Rod in the studios tonight. They're running for Moscow City Council. There may be some more questions out there. I hope there are. 892-9200 is the number to call. Maybe you got all the information you needed about the candidates on the other candidates forums. I know we did broadcast 2 of them in recordings on Sunday afternoons this month. But anyway, you can ask questions of these city council candidates right now on the radio, and we'll be going till 7:30. 892-9200 is the number to call. We have Walter Steed. The next question will go to Walter Steed. The area of impact, should it be renegotiated, possibly to be bigger in light of the new county rules allowing more splits of property everywhere in the county?
Thank you, Lee. The county and the city are going to meet within the next couple of weeks to discuss the area of impact. I was at the meeting when the area of impact was reduced, maybe 8 years ago, and it was done because people in the county felt that they were being impacted by the city while they were not citizens of the city and could not vote to elect the city council and mayor. At that time, the county commissioners assured us, as I was there on behalf of the Transportation Commission, that they would look at a ring road suggestion, proposal, concept if we brought it forward. It took forever for us to get the mayor to bring that forward, and when it finally was, the county commissioners told us we don't want to talk about it. So we need to look at the area of impact and see if we can't make some modifications in particular areas where we see development happening in the very near future.
That was Walter Steed, and now Rebecca Rod.
Well, I don't really have all the answers about some of these city council issues since I'm, just running as a new person right now. But I look forward to working on some of that if I get on council.
All right, 892-9200. The next question will go to Rebecca Rod first. What's the role of the Paradise Path Task Force? They're on apparent 1-year probation from the city government after there was a consideration of dissolving the task force and putting their responsibilities in the hands of one of the other city commissions.
Well, I think that this Paradise Path has been a great success, and I think that when the question came up about whether they should continue on that and that they kept them on as a commission, I think the work is not done, and I think that keeping the Paradise Path folks engaged as a commission for now just keeps energy behind the project, and I think it's a good idea to keep that up for now.
And that was Rebecca Rod, and now Walter Steed.
I serve as council liaison to the Paradise Path Task Force. And before the council meeting that occurred, 3 months ago, where the question was discussed about what to do with them, they were not getting a quorum. They couldn't hold an official meeting because people weren't coming. There were reasons made, such as the fact that the transportation plan was being worked on and other things. But the council decided to give them, as you said, a 1-year probation. And since that time, we've had 2 meetings. They have had full attendance, I believe, at both. They're working on their mission statement and planning to bring that forward for council approval. I think they do have a place to continue to operate, but I think we are going to need to get rid of the terminology task force because, real or not, people perceive that as a get it done, when you're through, you're done name.
All right. We have a caller on the line. KRFP Moscow, you're on the air. This will go to Walter Steed first. Hello?
Hi. Hello. I'm a homeowner in the Legacy Crossing Urban Renewal District, and I work pretty hard on the park the Lillian Ottness Park that you were referring to earlier. And it's very close to the old Columbia Grain Tower site. So I'd be interested to know what the candidates think about sites like that in the Urban Renewal District, and that's the most dramatic one, where whoever owns the property is kind of at a standstill in terms of cleaning it up, doing whatever they're going to do with it, and that one in particular emits a lot of toxic dust when it's windy, and it's just kind of, the work is not going forward, and if someone left their individual home in that kind of state, the neighbors and everyone else would, there would be pressure, and probably regulations where they would have to clean it up. So I'm really interested, since there are many properties in that urban renewal district that are either vacant or in some kind of transition, what the candidates think the standards should be for cleaning those up or maintaining them while they're in transition.
All right, we'll go to Walter Steed first on that.
Thank you, ma'am, for the question. This is the first I've heard that site is creating problems for the neighbors. And one of the best things, and I'll give this little secret to Rebecca, about being on the city council is the ability to ask questions and get answers. And we get answers really quickly. Citizens can get answers too, but sometimes it takes a while for somebody to get back to them. I will raise the question tomorrow morning about dust and other issues regarding that site, whether or not there needs to be some maybe additional fencing or things like that. The completion of the development, to my knowledge, is a product of the developer. I think the market may have slowed for the use of the materials that they were salvaging, and that might be why it hasn't been completed. But I will be more than happy to raise the question, and if you'd like to call me privately, directly in the next few days or email me, I'd be happy to respond directly to the questioner. Thank you.
That was Walter Steed, and now Rebecca Rod.
I think I'll go with Walter on that one. I think that's great that you took this opportunity to, raise the question, and I think that's great that Walter's going to check on that. And I'd do the same thing if I were on council and you asked me that.